Hello, my name is Adam Saenz, and I just already like to thank you for joining me today on this talk about marijuana. Today, we sadly live in a society that blindly follows the beliefs and rules on cannabis, aka marijuana, and aka pot, aka weed too. Again, we blindly follow the beliefs and rules set on this substance by the people before us, such as our parents and authority figures. Majority of the people out there will not approve of the free use of cannabis, but what they don't know is the many benefits that come with use of the substance and the legalization of the substance. Marijuana has many health benefits. It is much safer to use than already legalized drugs, and it has very low risk of abuse, addiction. Cannabis does wonders for many health problems. There's so many health benefits for using the substance. But okay, one of the most notable health benefit of using cannabis is that it can be used to treat and prevent glaucoma, which is an eye disease that increases pressure in the eye. According to the National Eye Institute, the use of cannabis decreases this extra pressure in the eye, thus slowing the progress of the disease and just helping with your health. Another big health benefit is that cannabis can be used to stop the spreading of cancer cells due to the chemicals found in it. We all suffer from cancer, let alone be people who suffer or our bloodline family, or maybe even you suffer from cancer, sadly. This cannabis stops cancer by turning off a gene called ID-1, because cancer cells make more copies of this gene than non-cancerous cells. Ultimately, cannabis should be considered a medicine, not a drug. Well, a drug is, you get what I mean. It is so ironic how people shun the use of cannabis when it is proven safer than already legalized drugs, such as alcohol and tobacco. The negative talk about pot has really made it seem worse than it really is. It is surprising how people ignore what is right in front of them. When we hear all the time about people being addicted to drinking alcohol and using tobacco, but we hardly ever hear about anybody being addicted to cannabis. According to Dr. Sanjay Gupta reports on the addiction of marijuana, only 9 to 10% of adult users become dependent on marijuana, compared to other addiction reports like cocaine, which hooks about 20% of its users, heroin, which hooks about 25% of its users, and the worst of them all, tobacco, which hooks about 30% of its users. That's 3 times as bad as marijuana. And we hear all the bad talk about marijuana more than we hear bad talk about tobacco. I never once heard anything really bad said about tobacco than what people say about marijuana. My last fact about weed is that users cannot overdose on it. Ever since marijuana has been exposed to mankind, not one single account of death from overdose has been recorded. This is ironic because, on the other hand, according to HuffingtonPost.com, in 2010, almost 40,000 people died from drug overdoses. 60% of those were prescription drugs. And in that same year, a little over 25,000 people died from alcohol-related causes. That's outrageous. With all these cold hard facts about marijuana, how they're beneficial to a person's health, and how they're less likely to hurt other people and the user, it is, sorry for this, it is stupid to not legalize it right now. Denying and delaying the process of legalization of marijuana is just counterproductive at this point. I'd like to thank you for sticking around this long. Thank you for your time. Have a great day, and farewell.